The Panthers, Ravens, and Colts have moved on in the playoffs. Will the Lions or Cowboys join the Elite Eight? Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Aaron Andrews, and Chris Myers are live with the call. Joe?
Kurt, we can't wait, my man. Getting ready for a good game here today in Arlington, Texas. Wild Card Weekend comes to a close right here, right now. And there's your matchup, Detroit and Dallas. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. That is Troy Aikman. It's an honor to have you with us today here on Fox. All right, everybody's weighed in on this thing. You and I can't wait for this game to get started. I want to hear from the three-time Super Bowl champion what it's going to take for one of these two teams to win here today and move on.
Well, I think it comes down to these two quarterbacks. You look at Tony Romo, he's playing his best football. And in addition to that, he's as healthy as he has been all season long. I think the key really is for him to do what he's done all year, and that is rely on this running game, be patient in the passing game, take the shots down the field of Des Bryant when they're there. On the other side, for Matthew Stafford, a little bit differently. He does not enter the playoffs playing that great. It's been a bit of a struggle, and he doesn't have some of the things at his disposal. He doesn't have the great offensive line, doesn't have the great running game to go along with it. So a little bit more of the burden he has to shoulder in this game. I do know this, Joe. I think for the Lions to win, Matthew Stafford has to be the better quarterback in this game.
Can't wait for this thing to start, and it is just around the corner. We'll continue setting it up when we come back in Arlington, Texas, before the Lions and the Cowboys get together. It is January football, playoff football in Arlington, Texas, and today's three players to watch. The big play threat for Dallas, Des Bryant. The big play threat for Detroit, Calvin Johnson. The man in the middle, Ndamukong Suh. Three players to watch, brought to you by Taken 3. It all ends this Friday, only in theaters. Open the gates. Here we go. Football coming up next.
We are Fox Sports. Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
There's plenty of pressure on these two quarterbacks that both wear number 9. This wild card game about to kick it off, and we're covered on both sidelines. Pressure on the sideline reporters as well. And we start on the Detroit side with Chris Myers.
Well, Joe, if 26-year-old Matthew Stafford is feeling the weight of Detroit and the Lions franchise on his shoulders, he isn't showing it. When he arrived in his high school hometown of Texas yesterday, he was smiling, almost bubbly. He was out early this morning, said he slept well. Did say he learned most from his only other playoff appearance. If you don't step up now, it's over in a hurry. And he's constantly reminded that January is when quarterbacks make a name for themselves. Now let's head over to the Cowboys sideline and Aaron Andrews.
Chris, thanks. Despite coming off the best December of his career, Tony Romo has said, let's turn the page. He said, of course, this is when how well you play matters. This is when you need to win championships. He admitted to me, since he's gotten older, he's gained perspective. He knows these opportunities don't present themselves every single year, and you have to cash in. And he told me, although I know I'm the better version of myself right now, I need to go out there and play exactly how I've played all December long. Joe?
Yeah, Aaron, he had a great December, went 4-0. The numbers were fantastic. There's pressure, obviously, also on the officials, and thank God he's here with us in the booth. Mike Pereira, former director of officiating. I know it makes you happy, it makes me happy. Here he is, Mike Pereira. Makes you happy.
Makes me happy, and I know who didn't sleep well last night.
Okay,
Pete Morelli, the referee. Because although he's the referee, it's not his crew. This is a mixed crew. There's not a single regular of his crew on this group. It's the playoff philosophy. It's mixed crews. I wouldn't even call it an all-star crew, because 70 officials move on out of 105. You don't get to all-stars till the championship and the Super Bowl. So he's got to be a bit nervous.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game. It's a team game for the Cowboys, for the Lions, for us bringing it to you, certainly for the officials. And they're looking at guys they don't normally look at during the regular season. Spanish language broadcast available on both Fox Deportes and by utilizing SAP on our broadcast. It's loud. And that's good news for the Cowboys, where early in the year, people were questioning whether there was a legit home field advantage in this gargantuan stadium in Arlington, Texas. We'll see the Dallas offense first as Sam Martin will kick it away for the Lions with Dwayne Harris waiting deep.
Today's game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Today's game is sponsored by Ford F-150, introducing the all-new Ford F-150, the future of tough. And by Pizza Hut, we're taking pizza where it's never been before.
They look at the rookie Travis Swanson as Garrett Reynolds comes in at right guard. And that's vintage Tony Romo as the first quarter comes to a close. So after losing it on the hit by Tapp, and that ball tipped by Jason Jones, a completion for a first down. Back after this as we go to the second. And a good punt of 51 yards, but the Lions have it back. Frustration here with the Cowboys. It's been all Detroit, up 14.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By KFC, the world's best chicken. How do you KFC? And by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side.
They don't mess around with high school football in Texas. That great facility at Highland Park High School where Matthew Stafford went. Bobby Lane, Hall of Famer, one of the all-time great Lions, one of the all-time greats in the game, went there as well. And speaking of somebody tough, they said about Lane, the biggest month in UFC history continues on January 18th with another full card of bouts. UFC Fight Night coverage begins Sunday, January 18th at 10 Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Second and $9. That's when Golden laid the hit on a blindside block on that man, Sean Lee, who's out for the year with a torn ACL, and there it is. That was 2012 at a meeting in Seattle between the Cowboys and the Seahawks.
Well, we've already seen Golden Tate. If you're anywhere pursuing the football, you better know where he is. He's going to put a hit on you.
Some preseason headlines. Jerry Jones admits long odds for the Cowboys this year. Romo isn't right. The Cowboys are doomed. With more questions than answers, Cowboys look like a 5-win team. You can read the last one for yourself. It was hard, Troy, coming into the season, being honest about the Cowboys finding 6 wins, and they end up with 12.
Yeah, they end up with 12 and surpassed everybody's expectations, even their own owner in Jerry Jones. And yet, now that they're in the playoffs as well as they have played, expectations are sky high.
Today's game is sponsored by Pepsi. Pepsi Hyper Halftime, the official sponsor of the Pepsi Super Bowl 49 halftime show.
Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. Is provided in this game by Nationwide. And there's that western sun, Troy, that is going to be setting and going to be a glare in the eyes of Tony Romo as he looks downfield.
Well, this is an important possession right now. It's an important third down, for the Cowboys offensively. They haven't been able to do much. And
coming up on the Visa Halftime, we'll break down the game you're enjoying from there in North Texas, and we'll get our guys involved. Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, and of course, Jimmy Johnson.
Hey, Kurt, we've got work to do. Get back in here.
Oops, I gotta go. It's all coming up on the Visa Halftime.
Coming this week is Empire, starring Terrence Howard as a hip-hop mogul and Taraji P. Henson as his just out of prison ex-wife, featuring some amazing music. Empire premieres this Wednesday here on Fox, and let's take a look at that hit on Stafford by Spencer.
You always get a little nervous when your quarterback has his right arm extended, and that's when he's then taken the hit. But Stafford popped right up.
For the Detroit Lions, that's been an issue for the Lions really all season long. We welcome you inside our broadcast, but this is exactly the kind of start that the Detroit Lions needed defensively and offensively, and specifically for Matthew Stafford.
This is the best I've seen him really start both sides of the ball. At times we've seen the offense do all right, we've seen the defense do all right, but not collectively. Now the defense did give up the long drive, to the Cowboys, which was an outstanding job by the Cowboys' part, coming away with a touchdown. But this is a heck of a drive by Matthew Stafford in this offense.
He says, wait a minute, there it is. There it is, Troy, the graphic. And if it's Detroit winning here, they go to Seattle. If not, Dallas goes to Green Bay, and Carolina goes to Seattle. 39-yard try here for Prater. That's the end of the half. So it's the number 6 seed on the road, a team that struggled on the road against winning teams, leading by 10 over the number 3 seed Dallas Cowboys. Take a break. Visa halftime coming up after this from your local Fox station.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL. By Bank of America. And by the Dodge Brothers. 100 years later, their spirit lives on.
Played his entire 11-year career with the Dallas Cowboys, Roger Staubach. Aerial coverage provided by Nationwide on this crisp January day in the Dallas area. We are in Arlington, Texas, 8:41 left in this third quarter. It's now a 13-point game after a 37-yarder hit by Matt Prater following the Dan Bailey miss after the interception. Big turn of events as the sun sets here in Texas after a 25-yard return. The Cowboys, lacking life, need a spark.
Today's game is sponsored by Verizon. Get the good more this holiday season with the best end-of-season deals on great tech gifts.
Well, what's it going to be for this Dallas offense down by 13? 2015 NFL Pro Bowl fantasy football for real. Michael Irvin, Chris Carter select the teams. The Pro Bowl draft on Wednesday, January 21st. Watch the Pro Bowl live from Arizona, home of Super Bowl 49 on Sunday, January 25th. Go to NFL.com/Pro Bowl to learn more. Well, what's the answer going to be from number 9 for Detroit? The Dallas native. His team up 6. Crowd's back as the drive starts at the 20 for Detroit up 6. Do you remember this, my friend? For Detroit, their last playoff win happened in January of 1992. It was in the divisional round against Dallas. Barry Sanders, how's that run? The 47-yard touchdown run, and Detroit beat the Dallas Cowboys 38-6 and then lost in the championship game to the Redskins the following week.
Well, Eric Kramer was their quarterback that season, had a great year. Barry Sanders, of course, and they had a tough outing the following week to the eventual champion Washington Redskins in the NFC Championship game.
Fourth quarter of a 6-point game in this wild card matchup. Cowboys back in it. Bryant got him down there. Murray got it in. Back after this from your local Fox station.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by AT&T, mobilizing your world, and by State Farm. Pump up your savings with a discount double check today.
Dallas Cowboys trailed 14-0 after the first quarter, 17-7 at the half. Booth, we will ask Troy about the quarterback play. We came on talking about the pressure on Romo and Stafford. Now we see Stafford on the field. Who do you think's played better to this point?
Well, I think, as we talked about coming in, that there's been more that Matthew Stafford's had to shoulder because he doesn't have the great running game. But he has played outstanding. He had the deflected ball that was intercepted. This offense overall in this second half really hasn't done much. Now backed up. And this lead cut to 3 points. They need to find a way to do something.
Song No Apologies by Timbaland, featured in the new Fox show Empire. ever had as a head coach in the NFL. Good Big East doubleheader this Tuesday, starting with Marquette taking on Georgetown, followed by a huge conference showdown between 6th-ranked Villanova and 15th-ranked St. John's. It all begins Tuesday at 7 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. As here the Cowboys are trying to take advantage of a 10-yard punt by the Lions and Sam Martin, but the defense for Detroit has been good on this possession so far. He's made one big play, but Terrence Williams has a 76-yard touchdown, which got the Cowboys on the board. Now an 8-yard touchdown for Dallas's first lead of this playoff game.
Today's game is sponsored by the new Samsung Galaxy Note 4. The next big thing is here.
This place is louder than it's been all game. There's the drive. The 8-yarder to Terrence Williams for the lead. Bailey to kick it. It's Matthew Stafford's turn to try and answer his counterpart. Tony Romo, who got hit as he threw it. The reaction from his belly. Up 4. The divisional playoffs are kicked off next week. Here are the matchups, and what we don't know is what will happen on the NFC side. We know the matchups on the AFC side. If the Lions win here, they go to Seattle. If the Cowboys win here, they go to Green Bay. Those games on NBC and CBS the year.
Well, they're down 10 points at halftime, and they come back and win the ball game, as you said, like they've done all season long. Don't count this team out. They have been outstanding on the road, played their best football on the road. They've got their work cut out for them next week at Lambeau, but 8-0 on the season is going to be a heck of a matchup next Sunday.
Jim Caldwell in his first year should be awfully proud, getting his Lions to 11 wins and to this wild card matchup. But Jason Garrett, unsigned beyond this year, as a playoff victory, as does Tony Romo, his second, and for the Cowboys their first since 2009.
Well, these playoff games, and you come into the postseason, you're excited about the opportunity that's presented for you, but when you're on the short end of it, it is really hard knowing how difficult the year is to even get yourself in this position. But like I said, when you play in the wild card round, you know you better be good on the road if you're ultimately going to get where you want to go. And nobody's been better on the road than the Dallas Cowboys.
And they are headed on the road to Green Bay next Sunday against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Should be some matchup. You can see Aaron Andrews getting set to go. Aaron, all yours.
I think the best shot we had of you is you on your belly smacking the ground after you threw that touchdown to Terrence Williams. You told us this week, look, they pressure the quarterback, they get to you. Yeah, no kidding. What was the biggest challenge the Lions defense presented you with today?
Well, more than anything, it's trying to keep your poise. And I think, that's an outstanding year. That was the best defense we played all year by far. And I think, they deserve a lot of credit. They played awesome today. And, you just have to stay in the moment and understand the game. It doesn't end after the first quarter or the second quarter. It's a long way to go, and it wasn't going well. But usually things dissipate a little bit. It's not quite as crazy as it is early, and you just have to keep calm. And I've played enough games to understand that. Maybe I didn't do that as well when I was younger, but I think just poise throughout the game. Our team did a great job of that.
And the good news here is it doesn't end tonight for you. You head to Lambeau, face Green Bay Packers. What will be the biggest key for this offense going to face their defense?
I got to be honest, I haven't even thought about anybody else here for this week. So obviously we know now we're going against as good an offense as there is in the league, and maybe over the last 3-4 years, the best offense in the league. So it's going to be a great test. We have to play great, definitely better than we did today. But I'm excited about the challenge, and it's going to be fun.
Congrats. Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, Aaron.
Talking this organization about how Tony Romo has matured. You just talked about it. Playing with poise, playing within this offense. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys have a playoff win. For Romo, his second. The Cowboys, who trailed by 13 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter and 20-7, come storming back. They're off to Green Bay on the heels of this 24-20 win. Be back after this.